You think you know which animals to fear? Lions, sharks, bears? You've seen the documentaries, you've heard the warnings. But what if I told you the animal that almost killed these people was one nobody saw coming? No warning, no roar, no fin in the water, just silence, and then chaos. These are real people, real attacks, and the moments that changed everything. Let's count them down. Number 7, the bird that hunts like a raptor. Queensland, Australia, 2019. A 75-year-old man named Marvin Hajos was walking on his own property when he heard a sound behind him. Not a growl, not a hiss, a low, prehistoric rumble. He turned around, and standing 8 feet tall was a cassowary. If you've never seen one, imagine a dinosaur that never got the memo about extinction. Razor-sharp claws, a bony helmet on its head, and eyes that look at you like you're already dead. The bird charged. Marvin ran, he tripped, fell hard into the dirt. The cassowary kicked him twice, each kick delivering enough force to crack ribs and split skin open like paper. Marvin survived by rolling toward a tree and using it as a barrier between himself and the bird. He crawled back to his house, called emergency services, spent 3 weeks in the hospital. Cassowaries are responsible for more confirmed human attacks than any other bird on Earth. They don't warn you. They don't posture. They simply decide. If you ever encounter one, do not run. Back away slowly. Keep something solid between you and the bird at all times. Never corner it. Never look away. Marvin learned all of this the hard way. Number 6. The river horse that shows no mercy. Zambezi River, Zimbabwe, 2014. A group of tourists were on a guided river safari, calm water, beautiful afternoon. Their small motorboat drifted near a sandbank. The guide immediately cut the engine. Too late. A hippo surfaced directly beneath the boat and launched it into the air. 3 people were thrown into the water. The hippo targeted the nearest swimmer, a 34-year-old teacher named Grace Mutasa. It bit down on her leg, dragged her under, then released her. Hippos kill more humans in Africa every single year than lions and leopards combined. They can run 19 miles per hour on land. They can hold their breath for 5 minutes underwater. And they are aggressively territorial in a way that feels almost personal. Grace was pulled out by the guide who jumped in after her. She lost partial use of her left leg. But she lived. Survivors of hippo attacks say the same thing every time. There is no warning. One moment the water is still, and the next moment the world turns upside down. If you are ever near hippo territory, stay in the center of the river. Never approach a sandbank. And if a hippo charges your boat, do not try to outrun it. Get to land, get high, and pray you're faster than you think you are. Number 5, the horns that gore faster than you can blink. Serengeti, Tanzania, 2017. A wildlife photographer named Daniel Raven Ellison had been tracking a Cape buffalo herd for 3 days. He kept his distance. He was careful. He was experienced. On the 3rd morning, one buffalo separated from the herd, turned, and looked directly at him. Cape buffalo are called Black Death by professional hunters in Africa. They weigh over 1,500 pounds. They have been documented doubling back to ambush hunters who wounded them, sometimes hours later. This one charged from 40 meters away. Daniel had 4 seconds. He dropped his camera, ran for the nearest tree, got 2 feet off the ground before the buffalo hit the trunk so hard the entire tree shook. He climbed higher. The buffalo circled for 20 minutes before losing interest and walking away. Daniel sat in that tree, shaking, for another hour before he came down. His survival tip? Never run in a straight line from a buffalo. They are faster than you and they know it. Run at an angle. Use any obstacle you can find. And if there is a tree, climb it immediately. Don't think. Don't hesitate. Just climb. Because a Cape buffalo does not forget and it does not stop. Number 4. The lizard that plays the long game, Komodo Island, Indonesia, 2009. A park ranger named Baron Rubing was doing routine maintenance on a trail when he slipped and fell near a dry riverbed. He landed awkwardly. A Komodo dragon was resting in the shade less than 6 feet away. It moved toward him before he could stand. It bit down on his hand. He screamed, pulled away, and ran. He made it back to the ranger station. The bite looked manageable. Small punctures, he cleaned it, bandaged it, and went to sleep, thinking the worst was over. It wasn't. Komodo dragons have venom glands that prevent blood from clotting. The wound wouldn't stop bleeding within 24 hours. Baron was in severe shock. He was airlifted to the nearest hospital. Spent 11 days recovering from a single bite from an animal most people assume is slow, lazy, and avoidable. Komodo dragons can detect blood from 5 miles away. They are patient. They will follow a wounded animal for days if necessary. If you are ever bitten by one, do not dismiss it. Get medical attention immediately. Apply pressure. Do not wait to see if it gets worse. Because with a Komodo dragon, it always gets worse. Number 3. The animal that attacks from below the sand Red Sea, Egypt, 2010. A snorkeler named Pavel Golub was wading in shallow water near a beach resort in Sharm el-Sheikh. The water was barely 3 feet deep, crystal clear. He could see the sandy bottom. He took one more step and felt the most intense pain of his life shoot up through his foot. He had stepped directly onto a stonefish, the most venomous fish on the planet. It doesn't swim at you. It doesn't chase you. It simply lies there, buried under sand, perfectly camouflaged, waiting. Its spines injected venom into Pavel's foot instantly. He described it as feeling like someone had driven a heated iron rod straight through his bones. He was dragged out of the water by bystanders, collapsed on the beach, was unconscious within minutes. The venom causes tissue death, heart complications, and in untreated cases, it can kill within hours. Pavel survived because a resort doctor administered anti-venom within 20 minutes. The survival rule for stonefish territory is simple. Never shuffle your feet. Always lift them completely with each step. Wear thick-soled water shoes. And if stung, submerge the wound in the hottest water you can tolerate immediately. Heat breaks down the protein in the venom. It is the only first aid that works. Remember that. Because out there in the shallows, something is always waiting. Number 2. The Gentle Giant That Isn't Nairobi, Kenya, 2016. A conservation volunteer named Sarah Romero was working at a wildlife sanctuary. She had worked with animals her whole life. She knew the protocols. She was calm around them. One afternoon, she entered an enclosure to check on a young male giraffe that had been showing signs of illness. The giraffe was agitated. She approached slowly, spoke softly, and then the giraffe swung its neck. A single blow. Its neck weighs over 500 pounds. Sarah was hit in the chest and thrown 8 feet through the air. She hit the ground and didn't move. Giraffes are responsible for dozens of serious injuries and several confirmed deaths every single year. A single kick from their legs can kill a lion. Their neck swing generates enough force to break a human spine. And yet, almost nobody considers them dangerous. Sarah recovered after 2 months. She went back to work at the sanctuary, but she said something in her recovery interview that stayed with me. She said, "The most dangerous animal is always the one you stopped being afraid of. If you are ever around a giraffe in the wild or in captivity, never stand directly in front of or behind it. Never approach a young one if the mother is nearby. And never, ever assume that size means slowness, because a giraffe moves faster than your brain can process the danger." Number 1. The Animal That Outsmarted the Hunter, British Columbia, Canada, 2011. A moose hunter named Gary Dodd had been tracking a bull moose through dense forest for 6 hours. He was experienced, licensed, armed. He lost the trail near a frozen creek bed. He stopped, listened, heard nothing. And then, the moose came out of the trees behind him. Not in front, behind. It had circled back. It charged before Gary could raise his rifle. 1,400 pounds of animal hit him at full speed. He was thrown forward. His rifle flew into the snow. The moose stood over him and stomped. 3 times. Gary curled into a ball, covered his head with his arms, played completely still. The moose snorted, looked at him for a long moment, and walked away. Gary had 4 broken ribs, a fractured arm, and a punctured lung. He was airlifted out of the forest. He survived. Moose kill more people in North America every year than bears and wolves combined. They are not aggressive by nature, but when they feel cornered or threatened, they become something else entirely. The survival rule? If a moose charges, get behind a large tree immediately. They cannot turn as sharply as they charge. Put something solid between you and them, and if you go down, stay down, cover your head, do not move until it walks away. Because a moose, unlike most predators, will not chase what it cannot see moving. Gary knew that rule. In that moment of pure terror, his body remembered it, and that is the only reason he came home. The most dangerous animals on earth are not always the ones with the biggest teeth. Sometimes they are the ones you subscribe, because next time, we go somewhere even more dangerous.